Well, good morning. Today we have a couple of stories for you. It starts with community foundations and what they're doing to make our communities a better place. Later we'll be spending a few minutes letting you know more about the options you have for watching TV6 News programming, including this show. It all starts right now.
From TV6, this is The Ryan Report. Here's your host, Don Ryan.
Well, our first guest this morning is Gail Anthony, who was raised in the Keweenaw and earned her educational degrees at Northern Michigan University. She's worked in banking at NMU. She founded Creative Computer Concepts, an electronic imaging business, and she served as the general manager for the Country Inn and Suites in Marquette. She's also been very involved in the community. Today, Gail is the CEO of the Community Foundation of Marquette County. Gail, welcome to the Ryan Report.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Nice to have you with us. I know that you have a lot on your plate, you and your organization, but we can't possibly cover it all, but let's see if we can give people just a better idea of what community foundations are all about. As I understand it, the Community Foundation of Marquette County has been around for about 30 years?
Yes, 1988.
Okay. And what do you see as the mission of the Community Foundation?
Well, the board just decided on a new mission,
Okay.
and the new mission is to enrich the lives of the people of Marquette County. And then there's a new bullet that we added on the bottom. So we're connecting donors with community needs, building permanent funds for charitable giving, distributing scholarships and grants, and the last one that I'd like to talk a little bit about later is leading and collaborating to address community opportunities.
Okay. And one of the unique things about community foundations is if people give a gift to the Community Foundation, it really continues to give forever, doesn't it?
That's the whole basis of the Community Foundation. The United Way, if you get some of your paycheck, that money, apart from a small operational piece, is given out in the next year. Every penny given to people in need, right? And so they're like the checking account of the community. The Community Foundation is like the savings account.
Okay.
So when you give a gift to the Community Foundation, it is, as our information says, for good forever. So we endow that money, which means we just put it away, and we only spend a portion of the interest of that
Okay.
for grants and scholarships.
And we should mention that you're part of a UP group, actually, and you're part of a Michigan organization. And they have some pretty staggering numbers as far as their impact on the state and the Upper Peninsula.
Yes, they do. We'll start locally. Our community foundation has $17 million in assets. Like you said, we started in 1988 with $30,000, so that has grown significantly. We're celebrating our 30th anniversary this year, and so that is $17 million in assets, and so far to date we've given out $6.8 million in grants and scholarships. The Council of Michigan Foundation is our statewide organization,
Okay.
and there are 55 community foundations that participate with the Council of Michigan Foundation, and their assets are $4 billion.
$4 billion, that's
Yes.
a huge amount of money.
Yes, it is. And in 2017, they gave out $214 million in grants and scholarships in the state of Michigan. And to break that down a little bit in the UP, our assets in the UP, we have 16 community foundations in the UP, and they're worth $91 million, and they took in almost $7 million last year and gave out $4.7 million in grants and scholarships in the UP.
Okay. And we're going to talk about the fact, when you say give out, that this is kind of a unique system where it's not like some other funds perhaps where you kind of give to a gift to an organization and they kind of decide what happens to it. People actually have many options with a community foundation, don't they?
They do. They do. Our goal is to help people give back to the community in the areas that they would like to. So if you want to give to the environment, you want to give to youth or seniors, you can come into the community foundation and say, I would like to give a scholarship. Okay, we can set that up for whatever school you would like. If you would like to make sure that the Great Lakes stay clean, well, that's a big deal. That's a big job. So what we would do with that is make a fund in your name and then distribute those funds accordingly. So you can be involved as little or as much as you would like, and yet your wish for your legacy can be so varied, whatever it is that you feel is important.
And you can also set it up, I think, to support specific kinds of organizations like
Yes.
a Bay Cliff Health Camp, for example, or
Yes, yes. Those are called agency funds or directed funds, and anything that you're passionate about. We have people that maybe their children were happy about their experience in Marquette Junior Hockey, so they want to make sure that they give back to that organization. We set that up so that that money stays there forever and earns interest. And over 16 years, our interest rate is 7.14% over those 16 years. So it's a fairly good amount.
Right.
And the finance committee makes sure that we only spend a small portion of that and giving back to grants and scholarships so that it will grow.
What if someone is interested in giving a gift, what's the process they go through?
Well, what we ask them to do is just come in and have a chat with us, or you can call on the phone and tell us what it is that you would like to give back to, and how much you would like to be involved in that process. Some people want to just write a check, give you a gift, and then have us distribute in the best way the community needs at this point. So we have a grant cycle every year, and we give funds from those funds. We have 160 funds at the Community Foundation in Marquette, and each community in the UP has funds as well. Okay. And so we distribute the earnings from those funds based on the wishes of the donor.
Okay. We'll talk some more about that and how the funds are used in just a couple of minutes. Back with more on the Ryan Report after we take this break. We're talking with Gail Anthony. Gail is the CEO of the Community Foundation of Marquette County. We might mention that the Community Foundation of Marquette County is really an umbrella organization and has some subgroups within it.
Yes, it is. We call those affiliates.
Okay.
So the Community Foundation is run by a board of 17 volunteers, local people, and we have also Ishpeming, Negaunee, Gwinn, and Big Bay, and they have boards, and they have a committee that runs their affiliate community fund in their community, and they also distribute the funds that they earned in their community.
Okay. And so we talked about people can give to specific causes, or they can give in a way that the foundation will decide. And in this case, the affiliates will decide in their community if that's the way the gifts are given.
That's correct.
Let's talk about, you have a celebration coming up. Tell us about that.
We have, it's our 30 years, but every year we have an annual celebration where we both honor our donors and we celebrate the fact that the Community Foundation is still here after 30 years, right?
Still here and growing. Still
here and growing, yeah. So, being able to distribute what we do, what we've done is we took in last year, 2017, we took in over $700,000, and we gave out over $700,000 as well in one year. Okay. So our celebration is on October 3rd. It's a Wednesday, and everyone is invited. The tickets are $50. If you're interested in attending, you can call our office at 226-7666. I'm sorry, 226-7666.
Okay. And
we can have a ticket ready for you. We have a pretty interesting celebration this year. We have the Super Youper Sandy Knoll group from a group of elementary students from Sandy Knoll that are going to present their Super Youper song that they wrote. And they worked all year long on environmental issues, and they wrote, and so they're going to come in and perform that for us. And the thing that we're going to do on that night is we're going to sell candy bars from Donkers, and they were calling them Super Youper bars, and it'll be like a golden ticket, so there'll be 5 golden tickets in there for special prizes. But the more important piece of that is that for every $20 that you put in to buy that candy bar, it will be matched by the Superior Watershed Partnership. And at the end of the night, our minimum to start an endowment fund is $10,000. So it is our hope by the end of the night, with the 300 to 400 people in the room, that we can raise enough to start that endowment fund for the Superior Watershed Partnership for youth education.
And I think one of the interesting things about foundations is they're evolving, and now you're able to work with other foundations, private foundations, and actually bring additional money into the community.
Yes, and that brings me to the last bullet of our new mission, to lead and collaborate to address community opportunities. So we've almost been flooded with these community opportunities. So one of them is the Great Lakes Water Partnership, and that is a partnership with the Great Lakes Funders, and that will bring into the UP $300,000, $100,000 for three years. We're collaborating with water people. The Superior Watershed Partnership are our partners here in Marquette County, and we have all over the UP. We're working with people collaborating with water, and our particular focus, because of the Father's Day flood in the Keweenaw, our focus is resiliency. Okay. So we're going to use those funds for that. So addressing that. We also are working on the Census 2020 project. So the count for this year is an issue, especially in the UP. When we think about the rural senior population that we have, it's very important that they're counted. For every person, in the last census, they've figured out that for every person that's not counted, the Upper Peninsula loses $1,800 per person, and that equates out to $18,000 for 10 years, right? So we're partnering with Michigan Nonprofit Association, the Council of Michigan Foundations, and there is a grant coming in for $95,000, and Grow and Lead is going to do the capacity building work for us, and we are going to we're going to make sure that everybody gets counted in the UP. Also, the UP CEOs, community foundation CEOs, are working together to make sure that we give mini grants to the people that touch the people that are very important to get counted. Okay. There's also a legislative seat in jeopardy for that census as well. So really it's important that people be counted, and this is really a project to help make sure that happens. Right. It makes us relevant. Right? It makes the community foundation, if you had a gift and you wanted to give it back to the community, you could do that through any financial organization. They could write that check for you, right? Mm-hmm. But with the community foundation, that extra percentage that we charge on to create an endowment gives us the ability to go out and address these community opportunities and issues, things that are very important to work. And as I said a moment ago, in some of these cases now, you're able to go out to these major foundations that have a particular cause, private foundations, and bring additional money into the community. Yes. CS Mott gave us $60,000 for a clean energy project that we're working on. It's an educational impact project. We're going to put solar on a couple of homes and see what that impact is, and then report that out to the community. So things that people are thinking about, community engagement. We're working on, we had a dialogue dinner, a local dialogue dinner in Marquette, and we're looking at repeating that experience into all the communities in Marquette County. And the CEDM is involved, the Community Economic Development. Okay. Yeah. I said at the outset we wouldn't be able to cover everything, but we covered a lot. Yeah. Thanks very much for coming in this morning. Appreciate it. You're Community welcome. Foundation is doing good work. I'll be back with some other thoughts for you in just a couple of minutes. Well, this morning I thought we could spend a few minutes learning about the many options that are available today to watch various TV6 news programs, including this show. To help us, I've invited Alyssa Pitola, the digital content manager here at TV6. Alyssa, welcome to the Ryan Report.
Thanks for inviting me, Don.
You know, when I saw TV when it first arrived in Upper Michigan, if you wanted to watch a TV show, you watched it on the TV set and you watched it when it came on. Now there are many more options, right?
So many more options.
Okay, and we're going to talk about that, and hopefully people will pay close attention because it provides opportunities for them. We have kind of a graphic we'd like to call up, and this is what it looks like if you go to uppermichigansource.com. And if you see the top, that remains fairly consistent. The rest changes down below. But on that blue line at the far end are three little lines. That's a way to get to a number of special shows like the Ryan Report and others. And at the other, not end, but kind of in the middle, it says live stream.
Yes, that's an important part there.
Okay, let's talk about live streaming right now. What is live streaming, first of all?
Live streaming is essentially a simulcast of what is airing on TV6, also airing on our website at the same time. There's a slight delay, but it's essentially your live show, just as you would see it if you're watching it on any TV or other platform.
Now, people might say, well, why would I do that? You know, if I can watch it on TV, why would I watch on my watch or my phone or my iPad? But there are some good reasons for that, including you can be anywhere.
That's probably the biggest one. You can watch from anywhere, and I know a lot of people tend to do that. You know, they leave the UP and maybe they still want to keep up with what's going on. They can watch us there. You can also watch via a phone with a live stream, which is great.
Okay, so you can be anywhere and you can watch the news. Let's talk about what's on the live stream, because it starts with the morning news, and maybe you can kind of go through the day.
Yeah, it starts with the morning news, 5 to 7 a.m. Eastern time, and that once it airs live, it replays throughout the day until the next live show. So the morning news replays all the way up until TV6 First Look, which airs at 5 p.m. For a half an hour, and then the TV6 Early News at 6, the TV6 News Tonight at 7, and then the TV6 News Tonight replays until the late news at 11 p.m. And that cycles through to the next day. On the weekends, it's a little bit different. The weekend's Top Stories airs at 6 p.m. The late news airs at 11 p.m. on Saturday. And then Sunday morning, your show live streams at 7:30 in the morning at the same time that it's airing on TV6. And we also have Top Stories and the late news again on Sunday. And we also have some other programming, you know, that's on there all the time too. So.
Okay, so it's really, you know, once people get that technique down, it's really pretty simple. You go to live stream and it's there.
You go to live stream, you get an advertisement or a promotion or something up first, you know, 15 or 30 seconds, and then it takes you right into the live stream.
Okay, if we go, if we talk about our website, and I mentioned it at the beginning, where the 3 lines were. If you click on that, there's a lot of information there.
There's a ton of information, yeah.
Yeah, but among those things are the Ryan Report and Discovering, for example. So
Yes.
it's that simple. You can go and watch those shows, not necessarily immediately. In the case of the Ryan Report, it's usually on Monday afternoon it gets there. But,
Yep.
and we have many different, the archives are full of past episodes.
There's every single past episode is there, as far as back as at least I believe 2015. So
Okay.
there's archive episodes that you can watch of the Ryan Report at any time.
Okay. Another possibility for watching the news on TV is Roku. R-O-K-U. Tell us what that is.
So Roku is an app or a streaming device. Essentially, if you have a smart TV, many smart TVs have the Roku app already pre-installed, but you can also download it, and it gives you access to a wide variety of shows, as well as TV6, which just got access earlier this spring. You can also get a device that can be plugged into a TV with like an HDMI port of some sort, and you can watch so many different programs that way, including TV6.
Including now people who, for example, can't get TV6 normally because of where they live.
Yeah.
They can go to Roku and watch our news anytime.
Exactly, yeah. They can watch anytime. You can also watch some playback clips and some weather on demand videos as well on the Roku, which is something that's a little bit different from our website. You don't get access to all of those except if you go into the stories. So.
Okay. Let's talk about Facebook a little bit too, because Facebook provides some unique opportunities because of the way we cover the news. Talk about that.
So I think one of the best things about Facebook is Facebook Live. It's a increasingly popular way to get the news out to people, and it allows our reporters, if they're out covering a story for the day, they can essentially do a live mini broadcast of what they're covering, previewing their story for the night, and it also allows you to get that news instantly, as opposed to waiting a little bit for your evening newscasts or the following morning.
So these are just some of the opportunities we have, but it's really a chance for people to see news in the making sometimes.
Yes, it is, definitely. You can get really involved in some activities that are going on and just learn more about them maybe than you can get, you know, because Facebook Live has a pretty unlimited time span, so you can go for a long time and get that information out there.
Unfortunately, there are other things we could talk about, but we're out of time. There's things like SyncBack and many things coming down the pike. But
many things.
But
yeah.
the real simple thing is that now you have many opportunities to watch the TV6 news if you just take advantage of them.
Yep, anywhere, anytime.
Okay, thanks for coming in this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, I'll be back with some other thoughts for you in just a couple of minutes. Well, earlier today I shared a memory dating back to the early days of television, and here's another. The first TV remote control, which was invented about 60 years ago, could turn a television set on and off and change channels. But there was a problem. It wasn't wireless. It was connected to the TV set by a cable that people kind of kept tripping over. They came up with a new improved model in 1956, which pretty much set the stage for quite a few years to come, but it was still far from perfect. As a result of all this, for a lot of people in the early days of TV, if you wanted to change channels, you got up out of your seat, walked over to the TV set, and turned the channel selector knob. I know for some of you that might be hard to envision, since TV sets today don't even include a channel selector knob. When it finally arrived, the modern TV remote had a major impact on television watching. First of all, we all gained a few pounds because we didn't have to keep getting out of our seat to change channels. But the other thing it gave birth to was channel surfing, flipping through the channels one by one, stopping only momentarily on each one to determine what show was on. The problem was, if you didn't find something you liked, your television viewing sometimes involved constant channel surfing, never watching an actual show, but just 10 to 15-second glimpses of every channel available. One of the real problems with channel surfing in many homes was the fact the person with the remote, often the male in the family, and the person without the remote often didn't agree on this practice. It was very common to hear, "Will you stop changing the channel? Just pick out a show we can watch." I don't know if it actually broke up any marriages, but I think it brought some to the breaking point. I'm not sure what happens in most households today, but I have to believe that channel surfing is now pretty much a memory from the past. When you have several hundred channels to choose from, flipping through them all is more like work than fun. I'll be back in a minute. Well, as we wrap it up this morning, keep in mind the options you have for watching this show and other TV6 News programming, and the place to go to find them, uppermichigansource.com. Thanks to Alyssa Petola for helping us to understand those options, and thanks to Gail Anthony for giving us some insights into the good works that community foundations do in our communities. I'm glad you could join us this morning. I hope we can plan to get together again next Sunday morning.